Hello, my name is Anna Dixon and welcome to my online course about eyeliners. Today we are working with between lashes space and we don't need a schedule for this. So all I did is just put numbing and now we need to remove it carefully so numbing will not go into the eyes. So remove it very lightly by cotton disc and try do not pull the numbing cream into the eye, and you need to keep it dry, like total dry, because when there is a little moisture on the surface of the skin it's not very effective. Today we are working with Xion machine and 5 round shader needle. It's very useful. And also I'm working with my favorite pigment, 6 cents 3.2 for get very deep brown color, because our girl is blonde and I don't want to get something like bluish or grayish after healing. I want to get it very natural, beautiful color. 5 round shader is very useful needle for get fluffy smudged pencil effect. All we need is just work between lashes. And also remember that first pass is the most effective, and we need to implant a lot of pigment by first pass, and it takes usually 5-7 minutes, and yeah, we can't take it longer because numbing it's limited. And also we are not in a hurry because first pass is the most effective. So the idea is to work as dense as possible. Usually I work with fast short movements, very similar with dots, just it's not like a dot but little tiny strokes. And also with 5 round shader with some type of equipment, shader can scratch the skin a little, and the most effective way to work is tiny circular movements or half circular movements. And here I'm working with tiny strokes in one direction to myself, toward to me. Step by step, I'm not in a hurry, I'm not jumping from one place to another. So I put needle into the skin and moving forward very slowly. Step by step, many movements. And usually different eyelid has different number of lashes, and rows of the lashes can be like 3, 5, sometimes 7. So this girl has very natural thick between lashes space, about 5-7 rows of lashes. It's about 2-3 millimeters thick. And when you work with between lashes space, it's not just tiny line, it's about 2-3 millimeters thick. So it's a thick line, and by this case you will get very beautiful result. And also we need to make it a little bit thicker, because after healing, as you know, permanent makeup going into the skin, and our design looks thinner, like 1 millimeter thinner. And look, I'm working by many movements, and still, so I did maybe just couple millimeters only, and it's 1 minute left already. So I'm working very slowly, moving forward, step by step. A lot of, don't be in a hurry. Remember, first pass is the most important for our work. If you are doing like that, you will implant 80-90% of color by first pass, and all you need is just do one more pass for finish the procedure. So the idea to implant a lot of color by first pass, so you don't need to come back and do it many passes, because it's not spa procedure for sure. It's very uncomfortable for our clients, and it's more uncomfortable after first pass. So try to do it as quick as possible. If you really love your clients, don't be in a hurry by the first pass. It looks like, okay, I will do it quick, and then I will add extra numbing, and then I will work properly. It's illusion, so maybe it's uncomfortable for her for the first pass, but it will be much easier for her, because you can finish in 20 minutes both eyes, and that's it. But if you just open the skin and then extra numbing, it can take 1 hour, so it's not good for our client. So first pass, the most effective. First pass, the most important. And usually 1 pass on each eyelid takes me 5-7 minutes minimum. And usually I'm not wiping it, but now I want to show you for be sure that it's really work. And now you can see the result, that we have a color into the skin and everything is going okay. And 5 round shader usually work for any type of eyelids. Hardly ever when eyelid is very sensitive, it can be bleed a little, and I recommend to take a bigger size. But usually it's like 99% of cases 5 round shader will help you to get a result. Compare different configuration of the needle. 3 round liner gives you deeper and denser color, so liner gives you more dense color, but shader it's fluffier, but it's much easier to work with the shader. So it's like very surface and very fluffy, not so dense like liner, but it's easier to control the depth by shader configuration. So if you need a classic eyeliner, we are working with a liner configuration, like 3 round liner gives you the most deep and intensive color. If you want smudged effect, like smudged pencil effect in between lashes, for example, or like smoky design, round shader is your best friend. Here we are working without visible lines, so it's really smudged line. So on the inner corner of the eyelid, I'm doing fast movements, because I don't need visible line. And also she has a lot of lashes. Her natural lashes is very thick, and it's a lot of. That's why I'm doing like dots, like put needle into the skin and doing left-right movements. Put it into the skin and doing left-right movements, because it's lashes going in between needles, and it's not comfortable to move. So here we go. This is the result after first pass, and we can see lots of color, and it's not bluish, not grayish. It's deep brown color, very beautiful and very natural. Usually I'm not wiping it so clearly, but it's for you, so you can see the result clearly. Usually I'm working in a mess, like I'm not wiping a lot. See, I'm working like dots technique, because she has a lots of lashes, which can stuck. This is the right word. The lashes can stuck in between 5 needles of my group needle, and when you're moving left and right, so it's easier to work with the dots. So, but I put needle and then moving left, right, very short movements. And she's fine with numbing. and I'm working as much as I can by the first pass. So if she does not feel pain and feel comfy, I continue to work as much as I can. So I will do as much as she let me to do it by the first pass. I continue to work during she feel comfortable about pain. When my clients say like, oh no, it's too hard, okay, now I feel it, I stop and add extra numbing if she needs. Also, it's not so painful to work with the shaders, compare liners, and compare single needle especially. So single needle is much more painful than round shader. Actually, we even can work without any numbing, but you need to know the technique. Just remind me and I will explain how to do it. But with a big group needle, like 5 round shader, you can work without numbing. It's not really painful, but only for first pass, because when you're doing it long time, it's getting painful. And you see that my line is 2-3 millimeters thick. It's not just tiny line. So I fill in all between lashes space. Okay, let's take a look how much color we have after first pass. Color is so even. There is no empty spots. Open eyelid like that for check, and you see that it's 2-3 millimeters thick. But we know that it will heal thinner. That's why we need to add extra 1 millimeter under the lashes. So after healing, it will be thick enough. Now I add extra numbing for her. It's a gel numbing for open skin. I use a lip applicator and it works very well. Usually after extra numbing, they let us to do 2-3 passes more, and after this it starts swelling a lot and very painful. Not about working with needle, but about wiping it or even just touching the skin. So try to work on the eyelid as fast as possible with a minimum number of passes. Doing the same for her left eyelid, remove numbing and doing the same. Usually when I'm working in between lashes space, I'm sitting on the one position, so I'm not switching the position. I'm sitting on her left side. And now you can see clearly the technique. So I stretch the skin a lot because skin is very soft and like wrinkling, and needle sliding on the surface of the skin, and we need to stretch it a lot for catch the skin and puncture it. And now you can see technique very well. Remember that if you will open on the computer, video is in very high quality. It's HD. You can zoom it very well and look very close to see technique properly. So I highly recommend you to do this. So open this video on the computer and zoom it. Stretch the skin by one finger, open it by big finger. Also, I'm stretching the skin by my working hand, by my right hand, by tiny finger. I stretching it down. 4, push her bottom eyelid down. So I use all my fingers for stretch the skin and open her eyes. Very, very short, fast, short movements. Many of them. And you see that I'm going up and down, up. So I'm moving like left and right a little, like to myself. So it's side movements, and also I put strokes close together, going up and down, up and down, up and down. I will show it to you on a separate video how I'm moving my machine. So it's 2-3 millimeter thickness. And one more time, we are moving forward very, very slowly. You need to do a lots of movements to get a dense color. And sometimes numbing not working very well, and first pass it's still sensitive, and your client can feel uncomfortable. I highly recommend to push them. So stretch the skin as much as you can and do the first pass. I know that it sounds terrible and it's so scary, but it's better to do it. If you will try to numb them perfectly, it will never work. Just some clients is very sensitive naturally, and nothing will help. You will just waste your time, and it takes you long time, like 1 hour, 2 hours, and your client will terribly tired about this. So it's better to push them and do first pass by very, very dense technique, and then you can add extra numbing for them. So when you are working with eyelid, you need to be self-confident and be straight and be sure that what you do is right. And it's possible to work without any numbing. So if they feel little pain, it's okay. In the beginning, they can go through it. Dots technique in the most in the area with the most thick eyelashes, because it's stuck in my needle. Sometimes our client shake their eyelid. It's reflex, protection reflex, and you can ask them like, honey, try to relax. You can't control the situation, and if you are so stressed, and if you are trying to do something like trying to control, try to relax, deep breathe with me, like relax, you need to trust me, and they stop shaking. You need to block this hyperreaction, because it's very difficult to work with a shaken eyelid. Especially it's very difficult to work with the guys, because they're not used to wearing makeup every day, and their eyelid is super sensitive. But ask them to breathe, and it's really help. And also it's like, tell them like, don't try to help me. You can't help me. Just relax. Just relax. We can go through it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it together. It helps. Okay, we are working in a inner part We are not going deep, like in very, very deep in the inner corner, just a little bit. Usually design finish on the first lashes, on the first lash by very fast stroke. And if you have lots of tears, you need to remove them. We need to work with the absolutely dry skin, because when it's tears, needle is sliding and it's not very effective. Look at that. This is the result of the first pass. Actually, it's enough. But she's a very good client and it's very easy to work with her, so I think that I will make them a little bit thicker, because it will be much more beautiful after healing if she will have a thicker line. But one pass is enough. So in this moment you can stop the procedure because it's done. So if your client is very sensitive, it's enough. But if your client is fine and want to make something a little bit more intensive and more beautiful, you can go through the second and third pass. But usually for between lashes, it's a basic procedure without wings, without tails, without something under the lashes. It's very natural, and after healing it's not like visible makeup. It's like natural beauty, just mark a little bit her natural beauty. And one pass is more than enough, but usually I do couple passes. It takes me usually 15 minutes. So we are working only in between lashes. It's very useful procedure for you and for your clients. You can offer it to your clients because it's matched to everybody. You will never make it worse for your clients because it's always beautiful for any age and for any type of eye shape and any style. It's matched to everybody. Just make your eyes brighter. I really like this effect. And also her eyebrows done and healed. You can look at her eyebrows. It was ombre and it heals. It looks so beautiful. So when you do this natural ombre eyebrows and natural between lashes space, it looks amazing. Just wake up with little makeup, nude style. So now we are going through the second pass, and look at this. When we are working with between lashes space, we need to do something in the end because there is no tail, like makeup tail for eyeliner. So all I do, I just put my design a little bit higher under the lashes, and I'm doing with a 45-degree after last lash. So I see the last lash and put it with a 45-degree angle up with a 3-4 millimeter. And now I want to make my design a little bit thicker, and I'm working under the lashes. And I put my sheen also with little angle. You see now my design is going under the lashes, not only in between lashes. So I work in between lashes too, and also under the lashes a little bit with a longer movements for create like soft powdering effect, for make a smudged effect after healing. So it's soft line. I use the angle and I'm going like 1, 2, in this case it's like 2 mm under the lashes. Because after healing it's getting thinner, and for filling between lashes like full line, I'm doing it thicker. So we add 1, 2 mm under the lashes and 3, 4 mm in the outer corner of eye. Now it's circular movements for filling space under the lashes, like 1 mm under the lashes, with a more dense technique with the circular movements. Let's take a look. So easy and very quick. And now our line is much thicker. She's smiling. She's happy. She does not feel any pain. Numbing works very well. Just do as much as I can before she starts to feel pain. You see, on the second pass, she already has little swelling. So soon she will start to feel uncomfortable about touching her eyelid. So 2 passes is more than enough for create between lashes space and work a little bit under the lashes, so after healing it will be thick enough. Stretch the skin. Yes, you need to put some pressure on her eyeball. Don't be gentle. Eyeliners, it's not procedure where your clients will feel comfortable. So don't be scared to put your fingers on the face and push on the eyeball. Of course, it's not supposed to be like very extremely pressure, but you need to find a way to stretch the skin properly. Here we go. And color is so beautiful and fluffy, and it's deep brown, which I like much more than any type of black colors, especially for the blonde girls. Remember about rules of style and contrast and color type. For blonde girls, we never choose pure black color because it's never healed by black color. So if you want natural effect, you need to use gold brown or chocolate brown. It looks much more beautiful and natural. Everything looks together. It's just mark her natural beauty, but it not look like a fake, not look separate. Okay, just add a little bit, like 1 more millimeter thicker. Fill in all empty spots. And fast movements on the inner corner, because I don't want to create visible line, so I'm working with a dot because it's supposed to be fluffy. Okay, let's take a look. Super easy. If you feel fine and comfy about your technique, and if you feel the skin very well, it's just 15 minutes done. Look at this result. Very beautiful. And also 6 Sense pigment has a very good retention, so I know that it will stay like that, just a little bit lighter. And also you can work with tattoo inks here. With my experience, you need to get something very high concentrated, because we don't want to lose the color. When you're working with eyeliners, it's supposed to be high concentrated pigment to get a very good retention, and work faster also, because with high concentration pigment you can see the color immediately. It's difficult to work with knots, like you need to do a lot of puncturing of skin to get a color with not concentrated pigments. So we never dilute pigments when we are working with eyeliners. So I like to use tattoo inks or Six Sense. I love Six Sense for natural between lashes space, because they are not turning to blue and or red after time. So they are very stable, and they give me long-lasting result, which I like. And also they not turn to unwanted color after time. So I like 3.2, it's deep brown color, and also I like 3.3, it's gold brown color in Six Sense. This is my favorite one. But also you can use any tattoo mix. I will share it with you, of course. It's very similar. Just tattoo inks turn to cold after time. That's only one minus. But between lashes it's not so visible, so you can use tattoo inks between lashes too. Now we are doing the same for her left eyelid. We are going under the lashes and cover up all between lashes space again. Make a design a little bit thicker for get good, beautiful, thick enough design after healing. Also, remember that we need to make design like 1-2 millimeter thicker, because it's swelling and skin it's stretching and it looks higher. So after healing, swelling will disappear and all your design will be thinner, like much thinner, 1-2 millimeter. So don't be scared to go under the lashes. Usually it's like 1-2 millimeter. So now it looks very beautiful, and we wish to keep it like that. But you see that eyelid is swelling, so volume is bigger. She's trying to open her eyes. Look at this girl. She's so brave. Usually I'm not letting them to open their eyes, but some clients feel more comfortable trying to open it. It's very dangerous because numbing can go into her eyes, and also our pigment, like any type of pigments, include alcohol, and alcohol is burning eyes. It's not good, and you can't avoid it. We are working in a mess, and pigment always going into the eyes, so be careful with that. We are very close to the finish the procedure. Just continue to work on the upper line, and you can see little bruise. It's fine, it's happened. Usually it's disappearing in the same day, like couple hours after the procedure. But if it's not, it's fine. It's not a big deal, and it's happened like regularly. It's not your fault. Sometimes it's just skin on the eyelid is super thin, and blood capillaries located very close to the surface, and especially when you are working with a shader configuration, it can happen. So don't judge yourself too strong. It's happened with me too, so it's normal practice if you have it. I think that's it. Thank you for your attention, and one more time I want to tell you again that it's a very useful procedure, and you can offer it to your clients. Like any girls will be very happy to have this permanent makeup. There is no risks. It always looks very beautiful, and you can make eyes of your clients a little bit brighter and sexier, and they will wake up with makeup, and it's match to any type of eye shape, and also it's very good base for makeup, so it will never disturb your clients. That's why I love this natural looking so much, because you can wear any makeup, and also it's very good base. So even when we are wearing makeup and you have between lashes space, makeup looks much more professional and more expensive, because it's not very comfortable to do it yourself. Trying to put a pencil between lashes, it's like not really enjoyable enjoying procedure. So when you already have it, it's nice. And also it's long lasting result, because eyelid has a very thin skin, and we are working like on all levels of the skin, and put implant the pigment on all layers of skin, and usually it stays like 5-7 years and longer. So it's very useful, and just disappearing step by step, getting lighter, so they don't need to do a touch up like every year, like with eyebrows every 1-2 year. So there is no any risk. It's like doing it. If you want to make it brighter, come back for touch up. If you don't want, it will just disappearing without any problem. So this is a basic procedure for eyelid. I highly recommend to do it for beginners. Start by this procedure, because you don't need to make a schedule, you don't need to be worried about design. You just put numbing, take a group needle, like 5 round shader, take a pigment, and there is no option to do lots of mistakes. So this is the result. 20 minutes and it's done. It's difficult for them to open eyes, but I will open it for you. I hope you like it like me. Thank you for your attention, and good luck with your professional life. With love, your Anna Dixon.